Today we are going to discuss an important topic, All India Judicial Service. Whether the All India Judicial Service is a panacea for the ills of subordinate judiciary. Now you must be aware that the President of India recently commented that multiple issues plaguing the subordinate judiciary can be addressed by bringing an all India judicial service. Now, we are going to discuss what is this AIJS and what are its benefits, and also whether bringing an all India all India judicial services will bring efficiency and effectiveness in the subordinate judiciary. So, let us understand the concept of all India judicial services. You must have heard about this or read about this AIJS. Now, before explaining it, these three letters are important. All India services. You must be aware of all India services. All India services are those services which are established as per the provisions of Article 312 of the Constitution. As of now, we have the Indian Administrative Services, IAS, IPS and Indian Forest Services as the all India services. So, all India services are services to which people are recruited by the union and trained at the union level, but who serve both the union and the state. So, Union Public Service Commission, UPSC recruits through the examination, seals for examination, from where individuals are selected for IAS and IPS. As you know, IAS and IPS, they serve both the union and the states. So, all India services. Into this category of all India services, existing all India services. Thank you, Akshay. Nice to see you all. I hope, anyway, leave it. We'll see that later. Let us discuss. All India services. Into this category of all India services of three, President of India is asking to add one judicial services. All India judicial services. So, we have three all India services, IAS, IPS and Indian Forest Service. Indian Forest Service is created as per the All India Services Act 1951, right? Anyway, so the idea is that we should create another All India service known as All India Judicial Service. Now, for what purpose? The individuals recruited to AIJS will man what? Will man positions in the district judiciary. So, individuals selected through AIJS examination will be appointed to those positions in the subordinate judiciary. Which positions? Positions of district judge. Now, if you have the material, you must, if you can see that, the term district judge, the term district judge is an exhaustive term, which means the district judge can be additional district judge, assistant district judge, So, I mean, deputy judge, etc., etc. I mean, the designation of district judge is very expansive. So, those individuals recruited and selected through the AIJS will be manning those positions at the subordinate judiciary. So, at the subordinate judiciary, there is a post known as district judge. So, the district judge, so the individuals will be appointed as district judges through AIJS examination. Now, I am using the word subordinate judiciary. Subordinate judiciary. In the hierarchy of court system in India, as you know, we have an integrated judicial system. On top, we have Supreme Court, then we have High Court, then we have so-called subordinate judiciary. Part 6 of the Constitution, Part 6, Chapter 6. Part 6, as you know, Part 6 deals with the state executive. Chapter 6 deals with subordinate judiciary. The term subordinate judiciary means district judiciary. The court system, the hierarchy of courts in a district is subordinate judiciary. Subordinate judiciary. In subordinate judiciary, there can be district judges and others. District judges and other than district judges, definitely. So, AIJS will fill individuals here. If an individual selected through AIJS examination will be appointed to positions of district judge, not to this. Now, why is this idea has, why does this idea have gained currency these days? Why do you think this is necessary? In order to understand why this is necessary or why it is important, we should know the current status of subordinate judiciary in India. The current status. For example, how individuals into district judiciary has been appointed. What is the current status of appointment? And whether the current state of appointment or current procedure of appointment is efficient. Which means, are there regular examination, regular appointment? Whether all the vacancies at the subordinate judiciary are being filled. Article 233 of the Constitution and Article 234 of the Constitution. Article 233 deals with appointment process to district judges. District judge. The term district judiciary implies, 1 minute. I think the people might have forgot that we have entered winter. Even the ACs are on still. Anyway, Article 233 of the Constitution deals with appointment of individuals. Yeah, please come. To district judge. The term district judiciary implies district judge and others. District judiciary is a comprehensive term which includes the hierarchy of courts within the district. DJ means district judge, not that DJ. So, Article 233 is the existing procedure of appointment of district judges. It says the governor and the concerned high court will appoint individuals to district judge. Here, apart from the governor and the high court, we have public service commission. So, 233 deals with appointment to district judge. Governor and the governor will appoint after consultation with the high court. Here, governor, high court and the public service commission examine this PSC of the state, because PSC will conduct judicial service examination. Now, this is the existing system of appointment. If this is established, AIJS established, what will happen? This will be replaced by this system. If AIJS, all judicial service, is established, it will replace Article 233 system of appointment. And the question is, are there any problems with Article 233? Or are there any problems with the existing appointment process to judges at the district level? Difference between 233, this one. 233 deals with district judge. 234 deals with judges other than district judge. Munsif judge, judicial first class magistrate, like that. Because when there is an exam, when the Public Service Commission conducts examination to judges, directly you don't reach here. You go to a level, then you get promotion, etc., then you go. So, apart from district judges, there are multiple other judges in the district. They will be appointed through Article 234 process. Clear? Here PSC is there, here PSC is not there. Here Governor and High Court. Now the question is, are there any problems with the current structure of appointment that this AIJS is being propounded as a solution? It is true that there are large number of vacancies at the district level. Now, there are around 25,000. The sanctioned strength of district judiciary is 25,000. Around approximately. All India level. The exact number I will give you. This is as on March. This is as on 2023. Government has given the data to the Parliament. 25423. This is the sanctioned strength. Sanctioned, which means official. Now, but what is the existing current strength? The current strength is this 200-26, which means 20,000 around. So there are almost 5,000 vacancies. There are how much? Around 5,000 vacancies at the district level. Now, it is a different question altogether that whether all these vacancies are existing at the district judge level. That I do not know. That for the time being, let us take that. Yes, there are vacancies. And generally, might be, let's say, we can say half of or 1/4 of it might be at the district level. Fine, it's okay. But there are vacancies. Why there are vacancies? This problem of vacancy is not a new one. It has been continuing. Hardly there have been a year where there was no vacancy at the subordinate judiciary. Even we have vacancies at the High Court level, more than 300 plus are there vacancies. Appointment not done. If there can be vacancies at the High Court level, then we can expect how it can be at the district judiciary level. One of the major problem of this continuing existing vacancy is lack of regular recruitment and appointment. Let me ask you one question. Many of you might be appearing for state level Public Service Commission examination, state level, Group A, Group B. When you compare that process of examination at the state level conducted by SPSC and the examination conducted by UPSC, which one is regular? Which is regular and which is regular? And you can expect that yes, every year there can be recruitment. That is at the UPSC. So, a regular process of examination at the union level by the agency called UPSC will provide required manpower for the Indian administration. But at the state level, because of the inefficiency, corruption and other issues with respect to the public service commissions, hardly any regular time period of appointment, recruitment appointment is being carried out. Large number of vacancies are there. Whenever there is an appointment or recruitment, corruption issues come out, like happened in Telangana and various other states. Karnataka keeps happening. Bihar. Remember, it is that same public service commission that conducts examination for others. True, not for district judges. But the problem, there is an issue of irregular appointment to the district judiciary as a whole, whether through this mechanism or through this mechanism. Because as you know, in order to get appointed as a district judge, there are multiple methods. One is that through promotion. That is, if you are already in the service of the government, of the state or the center, then you can be appointed. But second is, if you are an advocate or a pleader for that matter for 7 years and you are recommended by the High Court, then you can be appointed. So, one of the major methods of appointment to the district judiciary is through promotion. Promotion from who? This others to this way. So, if there are huge number of vacancies, irregular examination, then whom you can promote?
So, this advocate with 7 years of experience, they don't need to go for any examination.
No.
So, directly
they will be recommended by the High Court. Ultimately, the High Court can make rules or the governor can make rules after consulting with the High Court. Generally, what happens is that the High Court will create a panel and it will interview the advocate and recommend. So, either through promotion from this others to this or to that advocate. Third one will be this, if at all, this is instituted, AIJS. Now, the point is this, there has been huge delay in regular recruitment and appointment to the judges at the district level, including district judges. So, when we have an All India Judicial Service recruiting authority like the UPSC, we can have a regular system of appointment. A regular system of appointment will mean regular filling up of vacancies at the district judiciary, at the district judges level. So, at least those vacancies at the district judges level can be what? Filled up regularly. It is true that AIJS will not appoint to this others, but to them. But true, at least there will be something. But apart from filling up a vacancy at the district judges level, there are other multiple advantages which we will see later. So, because of the large existing vacancies and irregular nature of appointment by the Public Service Commission and the other concerned stakeholders at the state level, there are huge number of vacancies at the district level. By creating an All India Judicial Service to which recruitment will be regular, which will be conducted by a union level institution, a statutory constitutional body for that matter, which will provide adequate manpower to the district judiciary. So, there will be regular filling up of vacancies, especially at the district judges level. So, that is a fundamental idea, that the vacancies at the district judiciary level can be somewhat, to some extent, can be addressed. That is the reason this All India Judicial Services is being proponed. But this is not the only reason. There are other multiple benefits of it, which we will see. It has a long history, the debate over AIJS. If you see your material, you might see that it has been proposed in 1958, later 1978, later 1986 Law Commission report. Then there was a committee. Then there was then there was what we say, a meeting or conference of chief ministers of states and chief justice of states, state high courts, right? Then the government brought a committee of secretary which brought a draft bill, etc., etc. Then multiple parliamentary committees have gone into these issues, right? And in Supreme Court in between, in 1992, the Supreme Court has directed the union that you should set up an AIJS, but later it reviewed the judgment. Anyway, so this old judicial service is not a new phenomenon in the sense that the debate is ongoing right from 1960s, I would say. Even 42nd Amendment Act amended the constitution. If you see Article 312, you will find that Article 312 provides for AIJS also. So even the amendment to the constitution was also done. So a lot of developments have happened. Even recently, I think Committee on Welfare of Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes of the Parliament, it also recommended there should be an AIJS. So it's an ongoing debate. Even yes, the President of India recently has also commented that this is required. Now the question is, this has been going on for a long time, but still it is not being created. Why is it so? The answer to this question we will see later, but before that, let us understand, apart from the importance of a regular system of appointment to the district judiciary, to the district judges level, are there any other important benefits or are there any other significance of this all India judicial services? As you know, AIJS will be an AIS, all India service, like IAS and IPS. So most of the benefit significance of all India services are applicable to this, apart from the unity and integrity of that, One of the major issue that the subordinate judiciary, so-called, faces is what? Lack of talent. Talent. What happens is that if there is all India, then entire states, all the states in UT, the eligible candidates can compete, right? So the talent can be transferred from place to another. There are many states in India whose HDI, Human Development Indicators, socio-economic development are very poor. So only those people competing for the examination will mean that lack of less eligible people for that. A competitive examination at the all India level will provide required, competent, efficient, talented manpower to man the most crucial position at the district judiciary level, which is the district judge. So, widening, expanding merit, pool of merit pool will be expanded. This is the same argument for the IAS and IPS. Now, what is the benefit of this expanding pool? If competent people man this district judiciary, which is the apex at the district level, then their competency, efficiency, innovation, performance will also percolate down to the lower level. As you know, if the head of the organization is competent and efficient, performance oriented, in general, the organization will function better. As you know, that issue of leadership quality. So the leadership quality, performance orientation, innovation, all those things will percolate down to the other hierarchy of the judiciary, which will enhance their own performance. So there will be a wholesome influence on the performance culture of the district judiciary, if at all this AIJS is implemented. Now, another problem is that, as you know, there are issues of politicization of the district judiciary. If people are from the same locality, then pressure, incentive can be given or pressure can be put on those people by the politicians or the local people. But if you are from outside, then you may not be guided by the sun for the soil approach. Right? So you have an independent view of things. So having people outside the state manning the very crucial position of the district judge will mean that less politicization of the district judiciary. less avenue for corruption because friends, relatives are not here, they're vended. So,
So if that is the case, then the people from outside who are dealing with this, they cannot understand the people's problems. That is also one of the positive of appointing the local. They can understand the feelings of the people and come to decision making.
how many IAS officers recruited through the examination are appointed to their own states? Very few, but they are still working. The Chief Secretary, the DGP of Telangana recently appointed Reghu Gupta. Gupta is not from Telangana. Very few. Might be from this Haryana or UP or whatever that might be. But his entire service is there. Still they are working there. It is true that one of the criticism of this AIJS or lack of practical feasibility is that the business of the court proceeding at the district judiciary level is based on the local language. In the High Court, in general English, in the Supreme Court is English. So, although there are some High Courts where you can have the local language, Hindi, etc. But in general, at the district judiciary level, the court proceeding is based on the local language. That we will see later. But it's not an issue, that can be addressed. So, benefit is like this, merit, large. So, scope of merit is increased. Second, their leadership will have a wholesome influence on the district judiciary. Third one is corruption, politicization, favoritism, all this can be addressed. In any case, if there is regular appointment at the district judges level, then the PSC will also get some boost. That at least at the district judges level, these things are happening. So the PSC, the Public Service Commission and the government or the High Courts and the governor, they will feel the pressure that these posts are being filled up. We should follow the good work done by the institution. So it can also create some kind of pressure for regular appointment at the others level. So apart from a regular system of appointment at the district judges level, these are some of the other benefits. Now, if these are the benefits of AIJS, why the AIJS is not being implemented? After almost, let's say, even for 7 decades have passed, and 58, if you see, every time this debate is there should be AIJS, there should be this. And every session of the parliament, if you see, MPs ask question to the ministers, Ministry of Law and Justice, about the status of implementation of AIJS. Why? Why are you not implementing it if it is very much necessary? What are the problems? As of today, officially the Government of India, Ministry of Law and Justice, they say that there is no consensus among states and high courts. It is said that only 2 high courts and 2 state governments have given consent for AIJS. Multiple high courts have said that we do not agree with we do not approve of the scheme that you are proposing under AIJS. Why is it so? I am going to discuss the issues raised by high courts and state government. In general, most of the state governments are against this AIJS. Why? In general, most of the high courts are also against. Some are against, in principle, against AIJS. Some are against the extent scheme which is proposed under AIJS, that appointing through this, etc., etc. As per the Constitution, control of subordinate judiciary is with the High Court. Control, supervision, appointment, recommendation, promotion, transfer, disciplinary action. So, most of the personnel management decisions related to the district judiciary are with the concerned state high court as per the constitution, article 236 of the constitution. So, high courts feel that if this AIJS is instituted, established, then their control over district judiciary will be diluted. And what is the problem of this dilution? Because all India Judicial Service will be established at the union level. So, it can be a union dominated, union established authority like UPSC. In UPSC, IAS, IPS are recruited. Cadre controlling authority of IAS is DOPT. IPS is Ministry of Home Affairs. What if the cadre controlling authority of AIJS will be Ministry of Law and Justice? Ministry of Law and Justice is executive. You must understand that separation of power, executive, legislature and judiciary. IAS, IPS, all these are administration. So, they are part of executive. There is no problem of separation of power here. But if executive sets up an institution or the parliament sets up an institution which recruits to the judiciary, then it violates, because the body which is establishing this institution will control the personal management affairs of the judges. Generally, it is the state which is being taken to court by people. So, if the personal management system of the district judiciary is controlled by the executive through this AIJS body, then there will be no independence. The control and supervision of high courts over district judiciary is given to safeguard the independence of the district judiciary. But in the context of a system through AIJS, it may lead to the control and supervision of the executive over the subordinate judiciary, district judiciary, which will violate not only the separation of power conceptually, but also undermine the independence of judiciary, which is the basic structure of the constitution. This is one of the reasons, very valid reason. Now, why states are opposing? No, that is not the problem. You must be knowing that all India services in India is a unitary feature of the constitution. Many southern states have since long time recommended, in fact, asked for abolition of IAS, IPF and other AIS. Why? Ultimate control of the personal management affairs of the AIS officers rest with the cadre controlling authority at the union level. Like I mentioned, IAS, IPS, and if you see the IFOF, Ministry of Environment and Climate Change and Forest. What is that? Forest and Climate Change. So, states do not have actual control over their administration. State government has control over their administration through PSC. But what about AIS? The ultimate control lies with the union. So, a state government not having enough control over their administration cannot implement public policy efficiently. Because I know, you can take the example of Delhi. That Amendment Act, Delhi Public Services Act, NCT Amendment Act 2023. What it did? Entire control of the secretaries, the civil services, handed over to the LG. There is an elected government. It cannot continue. It cannot implement public policy because they are controlled by them. So, states in general have criticized the AIS as an instrument of centralization, anti-federal approach, unitary feature. So, do you think that states will be very happy to institute another AIS? Especially in the current context where the old service, especially IAS and IPS, have become another conflictual area between the center and the states. hardly any state, especially ruled by opposition parties, will agree to this AIJS. Because it will centralize. It will defederalize. That is the reason. In any case, they can't control the appointment, etc., etc. Governor, as you know, governor in general act on the aid and advice of the state cabinet, council of ministers. So here it is governor, ultimately it is the government of the state. So apart from the principal objection of that unitary feature, anti-federal, etc., state government's political control over the appointment process will also be diluted. So their objections are twofold, political as well as principle based. High courts are saying because of this system will be anti-constitutional, against the constitutional system, and it will violate separation of power, and it will undermine the independence of the district judiciary. Because district judiciary is the first port of call for justice. Access to justice means access to district judiciary. Access to justice will become a reality only when the district judiciary is independent. And independence requires independence from the executive and the legislature. This requires control by the judicial system. All it is true that this control is also having its own problem. It's a different thing altogether. But in this context, these are objections. Apart from these objections, these are the main reasons why the government is not able to bring this. Because as you know, there should be a law, right? A resolution will be passed by Rajya Sabha, 2/3 members present in voting. Then the parliament will make a law, and through that, this AIJS can be established. But the fundamental issues which are blocking this is because of the objections given by the state governments and state high courts. Apart from these two entities, there are other objections too. What about these people? Their promotion opportunities are impacted. When that? One of the major, complaint of the Group A, Group B officers at the state level, recruited through the PSC, is that they remain perpetual vice presidents. They can become DYSP, that's it. And if ASP like that, but they cannot reach up to that level because many presidents at the state level are cadred post. Cadred post means only officials belonging to those cadre. Here IAS and IPS can be appointed. An SP can only be an IPS officer. Collector only an IAS, secretary IAS. So either those Group A, Group B should be converted through that promotion, through IAS, through IPS. Otherwise they will remain there, they cannot. Their career opportunities, promotional opportunities, growth opportunities will be severely impacted. That will happen here. This is a kind of lateral entry. It's a kind of lateral entry. So they are opposing that if you bring this up, what will happen? Our promotional opportunity will be impacted. Not only that, you see, advocate the bar, not that bar, this bar. The bar has many meaning. Bar, yardstick, isn't it? Bar means advocates. Remember, 233 says 7 year. Now, if you are appointing everybody, what is the purpose of that 233? There is a purpose from the bar. Apart from this opposition, another view is that if people coming from the other states, they may not be able to understand the local customs, local language, etc., etc. But this is not a valid argument because if this is the issue, then definitely IAS and IPS could not have been succeeded in other part of the country. People from Tamil Nadu are working at the northeast working at the Kerala, right? It is something like that.
AIS officer, they are not that much directly related to the people
Who said that? In fact, I would say the interaction of the judges is only within the courtroom. An IAS officer, whole district. An SP, whole district. IAS, IPS are real public service because they are in the middle of the public. They are the services which have the most type of interactions with the people. It is them who should know.
Sir, I thought that those IAS, IPS, they inform to their higher officials and subordinate level they are having so many people. But when it comes to here, the subordinate, whether they cooperate with the district judge, there is some problem there.
All these, no, you see, all these problems can be addressed. These are not issues, right? These are issues. This can be addressed. We have solutions for that. This is not a big issue. We can provide them training. Provide them 3 months training for that language. If the person has some problem, then put an interpreter. Not a problem. He will learn or she will learn. That's not an issue at all. Like IAS and IPF, they have to study that local language and give examination on that. Similarly, they can have, not a problem at all. He can be appointed as an apprentice, probationary, like that. So he will learn or she will learn. Not an issue at all. But this is an argument. But this argument is not valid. Even the fact that we have IAS and IPS, which is being functioning properly, right? And language can be taught, learned, not an issue at all. But other issues are substantial. The high courts and state government, etc., which require consensus. That is the reason Government of India says there is lack of consensus. But Government of India says that a properly framed AIJS is necessary for justice delivery. So Government of India wants AIJS. But why is it not being established? It's because lack of consensus at the various stakeholder level. Now the question is, hypothetically speaking, let us assume that AIJS is implemented. Whether the implementation of AIJS will address all the problems of subordinate judiciary. Whether having an all-India judicial service will address all the problems of subordinate judiciary. To understand this issue, we should know what are the problems of subordinate judiciary. Problems. You see, apart from this, anyway, there are other issues which I will tell you later. Don't. What are the problems of subordinate judiciary? Subordinate judiciary. It is true, vacancy is a problem, which we discussed. To some extent, fine, vacancy can be addressed by regular. Now, what about other problems? Pendency of cases. Pendency. Pendency, as of the latest data we have is around 4.2 crore something cases are pending at the district judiciary level. Which means 85% around cases pending at the Indian judiciary. Sorry, of the total cases pending at the Indian judiciary, 85% are pending at the district judiciary level. Now, will AIJS, will all the judicial service lead to reduction in pendency? To some extent, you can say they can be reduction, because if you see that there is 5,000 plus vacancy. So if you feel, then they can address these cases to some extent, yes. Okay, what? High pendency of cases, low capacity to deliver justice, high adjournment. Yes, very good. Less working days. No, this is Akshita. On an average, the district judiciary works around 230 plus days in a year. The district judiciary works around 230 plus days in a year. It is not 1, 2, 3. If you are talking about, let's say, at the Supreme Court level, it is around 150. At the Supreme Court level, it is 150 around. At the High Court level and subordinate level, it is around 130. Exact I think I have. So it is not true that the district judiciary is not working. There are a large number of holidays, etc., etc. That's not true. Okay, 230 to 240, 190. At the Supreme Court level, on an average, 190 days in a year they work. High Court level, it is 230 on an average. Subordinate Judiciary, SJ, it is 244 plus. 240 plus, you can write that way. Not an issue. So 240 is not, 240 is not a, what do we say? In fact, if you are working for 240 days in a year, it's a very significant achievement, 240 days. For increasing the number of days of working of the district judiciary is not a solution. Too much focus on procedural aspects of law. True, that's true, fine. That is the reason we are saying this AIJS may address this vacancy stuff or to some extent pendency, but there are multiple other challenges the support judiciary is facing, which they may not be able to address. So, pendency, to some extent, yes, pendency can be reduced. Because let's say if you add this, if you fill the existing vacancy, then yeah, definitely we can have some kind of, we can reduce the pendency of cases. That's true, to some extent. But it can be done even if the regular recruitment system is followed. It is not necessary for this AIJS. All these things can also be done if the existing system of appointment is streamlined. For that, we don't require an AIJS. But again, for sake of argument, the regular system of appointment is taken, yes, to some extent vacancy can be reduced, pendency can be reduced. Now, apart from this, and anyway, wait. Now, the pendency means pending. Once a case is instituted and when the judgment is given. There are multiple reasons for pendency of case. It is not only because of there is no judge or judge is not efficient. No. There are multiple reasons for pendency. Adjournment. Sir, few days ago, CJA Chandrachud was asking Fender to appoint more judges. Then Fender gave statement like they should work more days. That might not be in the context of this district judiciary. Well, it is a surprise that Chandrachud has given such a statement. Anyway, leave it. It is not in the context of district judiciary, right? Pendency can be through adjournment. I am an advocate. As long as the case delays, more money to me. I will say, this issue is there, the witness is not there, the person is ill, I am ill, you are, etc., etc. Multiple things are there. Adjournment, delay. Second is procedure. The procedure of law, process of law, provisions of the law, outdated, multiple things are there. So the reason for pendency is not lack of judges per se. There can be multiple other issues. But again, fine. Yes, to some extent, pendency may be addressed by regular system of appointment. Apart from that, what are other issues? Infrastructure. You must have seen that movie, Jolie LLB. The judge is bringing down that light. Isn't it? There is a movie That's a fact. According to a survey conducted by the Supreme Court of India in recently, I would say 2021, survey conducted. According to the survey, some data I have, I'll give you. This survey, 27% of judges at district judiciary level have computers on their dais. Means I am the judge, so everything is technology. I should have computer, monitor. Only 27%. They surveyed around 6,000 trial court in India. 6,000 around trial court, sub-ordinate judiciary, surveyed. Under that, out of the 6,000, only 27 has what? Computer. Computer is very much required, so that he will or she will go to the document, etc., etc. Otherwise, everything is paper. More time, inefficiency. Not only that, 10% of court at the district level do not have proper internet connectivity. Not only that, 10% of courts do not have proper internet connectivity. 22% no women toilet. 16% no toilet at all. Anyway, you may not be able to write these things in the examination, but at least you can use them. That's the data. There might be, but it might not be in working condition proper. Just having a toilet like that SBM, Swachh Bharat Mission. People have toilets. Name is given toilet. That's it. It is used as storehouse. Isn't it? So, this is it. Not only that, there are some other data if I'm having. There is another study. Apart from this, there is this body called Vidhi Center for Legal Policy. Vidhi Center for Legal Policy, 2019 study. Vidhi Center for Legal Policy. This is an organization which studies or analyzes the judicial system in the country, and they also suggest multiple provide recommendations, etc., etc., etc. So this Vidhi Center for Legal Policy study 2019, what they said? %, they studied around 600 plus courts. 54% courts have only for 54% courts have designated waiting room. Waiting room, which means litigants, their relatives, all these people. You must have seen that people are waiting outside. The study also identified the problems of computers, the washroom, etc., etc. Even the study also highlighted the problem of lack of disabled-friendly infrastructure, ramp. They found out that only 27% of courts, 27% of courts have disabled-friendly ramp. That through end-to-end access, but not on the entire infrastructure of the courts. There are multiple issues: technological, physical, human. Apart from the physical infrastructure issue, technology infrastructure, there is another issue of human infrastructure. When I am using the word human infra, I am not dealing with that vacancy of judges. That's true. Apart from the vacancy of judges, there is another issue. That is court administration. Court administration. Because there are multiple other functionaries there. We call them registrar. There is a function known as registrar in the court, which means the head of the administration. There will be clerk, there will be steno, conservancy staff, superintendent, section officer, etc., etc., etc. In some courts, files are signed by court master and not judges. That is the idea of court master. Court master is the one on the administrative side, administration. Court administration. Generally, court masters are found in Supreme Court and High Courts, who are themselves generally district judges or other judges in the district judiciary, because these functions are judicial in nature. We require competent manpower. As of now, court administration, the in charge or the responsibility of court administration is with the chief judicial officer, which means, let's say I am the district judge, so I am the head of court administration. So I have to not only deal with the cases, but also deal with administration. So lack of competent, separate, qualified court administration is a problem at the district judiciary level. This is also a serious issue. Apart from this, you know that there are multiple other challenges, like corruption is there at the district judiciary. Apart from corruption, there is another issue, that is service condition, or I would say career opportunity, which we discussed earlier also, career growth. From district judge, after that what? You became district judge, fine, through promotion or appointment, whatever that might be. After that what? Even if you are appointed through all the judicial service, after that what? There is no regular system of promotion. Appointment through the High Court and to the Supreme Court is through collegium system. If you study the number of judges at the subordinate judiciary level who are recommended for elevation to the High Court or Supreme Court, you might find that it is below 1/4. The total number of individuals recommended to be appointed at the High Court level, if you see that their ratio, proportion from the district judiciary, you will find that it is below 1/4. Less than 25% of district judges are being recommended to be appointed at the High Court level. And definitely, if there is very less number of High Court judges, then very less number of Supreme Court judges. So, a lack of systematic career progression, lack of opportunities, lack of adequate opportunities for a systematic career progression. Uncle judges syndrome. Not only uncle, brothers, sisters, and others are also being appointed. So, even if we bring an AIJS, how many people will be willing to enter into that? Because there is system of your career progression is limited. In IAS, you know, there is a chance that you can become joint secretary and above, secretary and camp secretary. It is not through collegium system. But here, the number of people being appointed to High Court are very less. Whether you bring AIJS or fill up vacancy through this, if you do not have a sound promotional opportunities or sound system of career advancement of the judges, then there will be inefficiency, incompetence, corruption at the district judiciary level.
So, but as you said, when it comes to this language issue, you said that's not an issue, you can sort it out. But similarly, we can also sort out this issue, right? So after some point of some years of experience, they can automatically change with the Supreme Court, sorry, High Court level.
For that collegium system, with this collegium system has to be changed. Or let the collegium take a decision that yes, we should have more people. They can recommend. Either system of collegium can be changed or the High Court collegium can recommend more judges. And the Supreme Court collegium can accept it. This can be done. But as of now, it's very less. One issue is that they may say that we are not having competent individuals who can be appointed as High Court judge. So, AIJS will provide you competent manpower. So, more competent manpower. So, more pool from which you can pick. It depends upon how you frame your argument. Anyway, yes, this is a very serious issue. This cannot be resolved through AIJS. Another issue is fundamental. That is the High Court control. We are getting late, 7:15. We'll finish faster. I have the, what we say, reputation of taking long classes, but I am trying to reduce it.
See your name, the schedule, then I say, okay, it's 8 o'clock.
It's a very small topic, that is the reason. Anyway, we have longer ones, bigger ones, which might take more time. Anyway, supervision control of high courts. We discussed that it is necessary. After the gap of month, you are back. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So we'll have more polity governance classes. Don't worry. We'll be covering all. Don't worry. You can also suggest topics if you have something in your mind, right? So, in fact, I have prepared the topics, etc. Don't worry. But whatever topics you have in your mind, you can tell me. Don't worry about that. Well, I will definitely come. Don't worry. But the winter is a problem for me. I'm from Kerala. We don't have this winter in Kerala. Anyway, climate change is happening, so we might also experience that later. But let us come back to this. High Court control. Control supervision of High Court is necessary for independence. But this control and supervision, sometimes what happens is that it undermines the independence of judiciary at the district level. Why? Because the reports, performance evaluation of the district judges are done by the High Court judges. And as you know that the judgments of the district judges and others are appealed generally to the High Courts. So many a time it is seen that just because of a judgment is having some flaws or maybe some issues, it is reflected in the ACR of the judges. Because of this fear, definitely you see my opportunity for promotion, career growth, etc. depending upon the higher court. And the higher court is sitting on appeal on my judgment. So many a time the judges will think twice before taking an appropriate decision. In a politically charged climate, when even to the appointment to the high courts are being questioned, judges at the district judicial level will think twice before applying their mind independently. Before applying law onto the facts of the case and taking an independent decision, they will think about the repercussions of that. What will happen? If this is actual law, this has to be explained this way. But what if there is another opinion or that can be reflected on my performance evaluation? This happens. We are seeing that multiple judges who were rated as very good, suddenly they are rated good like that. Decrease, let's say, downgrading of performance. And hardly any proper reasons are given. Why the performance is evaluated in this way? Why downgraded? Transparency is lacking. So even if judges want to apply their independent mind, they may not be, because of the perceived repercussions and its implications on their career opportunities. Not only that, you see this High Court control. Now the word control has a very significant issue here. A judge who's hearing a case is independent in the sense that he has the complete authority to decide. If I am the judge, I will hear the case and have to pronounce a judgment, which can be appealed. That's fine. That's a different issue. But I am not under any hierarchy per se. I am not, let's say, in the context of police, let's say, the SHO has to take, in general, take permission from the ASP or DYSP, ASP and SP. There is a hierarchy. But here, whatever the case is, if it is in the judicial competency of the judge domain, he or she has to take a decision. That cannot be controlled by anybody. That cannot be supervised by anybody. So, judges at the district judiciary are independent in their domain. They are independent and competent to take decision, independent of any other organization, any other institution. But the control system given under Article 236 creates an impression or a perception that they are subordinate. Again, the word subordinate which is used. Subordinate. They are not subordinate. In any case, in a progressive democratic society, the word subordinate is an undignified usage. It's a colonial legacy, subordinate service, subordinate judiciary, subordinate. The word in use is colleague in general, private. Isn't it? The colonial nomenclature continued. With that, colonial hangover also continued. There are many states where if High Court judges are visiting a district, then the district judge should wait for the judge at the boundary of the district. The control and supervision of High Courts over the so-called subordinate judiciary has resulted into judicial despotism or judicial feudalism. An eminent jurist known as Upendra Bakshi has commented that the supervision and control system under Article 236 and the nomenclature subordinate judiciary has created a system of judicial despotism or judicial feudalism. A judge who is deciding a case is not subordinate to anybody. Even a judge can give death penalty. Does he call the High Court judge, sir, should I give this penalty or not? No. It is not a civil service, it is judicial service. Independent body. But the control and supervision of High Courts have resulted in a system where the entire district judiciary have become the feudal serf of the High Courts. High Courts have pervasive control in the name of independence. In the name of independence of district judiciary, control system of the High Courts have undermined their independence. These things cannot be changed through AIJS. Improving the working of subordinate judiciary requires multiple interventions. First intervention is change the name of subordinate judiciary. First intervention, substantial, fundamental intervention should be amendment to the constitution. The chapter subordinate judiciary requires substantial amendment. You can use the name of this Bakshi. So the examiner will not think that it is your view. Anyway, so it's a very valid view. Use his view. Amend this amend chapter 6. Instead of using this subordinate judiciary, we can use them. District judiciary. Why can't we use this district judiciary? In fact, I will give an example. Himachal Pradesh High Court. This Himachal Pradesh High Court recently has directed that the judiciary, the courts at the district level will be called district judiciary or trial court. It said nobody will use the subordinate courts nomenclature. Not only there should be an amendment in the nomenclature, but also there is substantive amendment. What amendment? There should be some kind of a collegiate structure. Collegiate structure of supervision and control. As of now, Article 2368, only High Court will control. What we are proposing is that there should be a group system, a collegium system of senior most district judges, and some senior most high courts. Let them make a collegium system, and then they control, administer, supervise, etc. So most of the personal management system of the district judiciary can be through a collegium system, as recommended by Upendra Bakshi. Don't take my name. Upendra Bakshi. Not that PM Bakshi, Upendra Bakshi. This is PM Bakshi. This is required. Absolutely. This is required. It's not field service where you are subordinate. Even in field service, the word subordinate is not appropriate. But Indian society is caste-ridden society. Caste. This caste consciousness are also reflected in administrative services. Anyway, apart from that, infrastructure. There is a recommendation of this NJIC, National Judicial Infrastructure Corporation. You must have heard about this, NJIC, National Judicial Infrastructure Corporation. The then Chief Justice of India, Ramana, recommended this creation of an independent corporation, National Judicial Infrastructure Corporation, which will deal with the infrastructure requirement of district judiciary. As of now, there is a scheme. As of now, there is a centrally sponsored scheme. There is a scheme for development of judicial infrastructure. 9,000 crore. In 2021, extended to 2026. 1993. This is the scheme for infrastructure development of the district judiciary. But it is seen that most of the time, the funds which are sanctioned are lapsed, not being utilized. So, creation of an independent body like NJIC, which with the Chief Justice of India and the Finance Secretary and others as members, can give a dedicated attention to the infrastructure requirement of the judiciary. So, fund will not lapse and the infrastructure can be improved, etc., etc. You can write that, NJIC. Apart from this infra, you can, infra in the sense we can use technological infrastructure. This AI you can use, artificial intelligence is something which can help in monitoring of cases, case monitoring, disposal rate, right, and pendency, etc., etc., etc. Apart from that, economic survey 1819 recommended creation of an Indian Courts and Tribunal Service. Indian Court and Tribunal Service. Indian Courts and Tribunal Service. Remember, one problem. Court administration. Lack of competent, effective people. Not only that, who's carrying out the duty? Judicial officer. So, a separate service like Indian Court and Tribunal Service will deal with the administration of the court. Like you mentioned, court master, all those case management, court management, technological upgradation, proposal of legal reforms, managing cases, all those things. So, court administration can be this. This is not a new, new institution or mechanism, because such things are also available in, let's say, UK. In UK, there is Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Service. In UK, there is Her Majesty. Now it might be His Majesty. whatever that might be. Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Service. Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Service are there. In USA, Office of Administration of Courts. Office of Administration of Courts in USA. Office of Administration of Courts in USA. Next is Court Administration Service, Canada. Court Administration Service, Canada. So, this can be done. But it is true that if it is Indian, then might be a problem, but similar system can be set up. Apart from that, yes, all India Judicial Service can be, yes, this can be, pendency, vacancy, etc. can be used. But a problem, as I mentioned earlier, there are huge resistance with respect to this. In order to address some of the concerns, the Supreme Court of India in 2017, through a PIL, in 2017, the Supreme Court of India instituted a suo motu PIL. The PIL was about central selection mechanism. Central selection mechanism. You see, central selection mechanism is there, I'll explain that, don't worry. But in 2017, Supreme Court has established a PIL or instituted a PIL dealing with the creation of or implementation of central selection mechanism. Central selection mechanism. What is central selection mechanism? At the union level, a recruitment will be, examination. At the union level, all India examination will be conducted for appointment to the judicial services at the district level. Central means centrally selection mechanism, which means central level, union level, all India level, an examination will be conducted to be people can be selected for appointment to district judge. But this body, this central selection mechanism will be under a central selection committee. Committee will be headed by Chief Justice of India, etc. A central selection committee at the Supreme Court level will implement something called central selection mechanism. Central selection mechanism in an all India level examination which will conduct examination for appointment to the district judiciary. But remember, this body will conduct only examination. It will not recruit or appointment. It will conduct examination and will provide the list to various states. This is the, and the states can take, the High Court can conduct interview and everything can be done. Here, the High Court's control over the appointment process, etc. are not diluted. In AIJS, appointment will be done then. Not only exam, recruitment, appointment. If appointment, then control. But here only examination is conducted. Rest everything will be done by the state government and the state high court. No, UPSC is not, it is. UPSC is recruiting and appointed by the DOPT is appointing.
UPSC is selecting the candidate and giving it to the sub-ministry.
Yes.
They are selecting the people and giving it to the state.
Yes, absolutely. But there is a fundamental difference here. Because it is centrally. UPSC exam recruiting, selecting and giving. Here it is selecting and giving to the state. So this is central selection mechanism. So an alternative to AIJS. Fine, I will do that. As an alternative to central selection, as an alternative to old judicial service, this is proposed central selection mechanism. Under central selection mechanism, an examination will be conducted, and this examination is known as this examination, de jure, district judges recruitment examination. District judges recruitment examination. So, district judges recruitment examination will be conducted under the control of Central Selection Committee, which will provide a list of competent individuals to the states and high courts, and they can select. So, this is and not only that, this examination will take care of those local issues, because it has paper. 1 paper, 2 paper, 3 paper. This 4th paper is dealing with local languages and local customs, etc., etc. These are civil law, criminal law, like that. Don't worry about that. But the examination pattern of de jure also takes into consideration the requirement of local language knowledge, customs, etc. Not only that, this de jure does not recommend this CSM, central selection mechanism, or de jure does not mean that all the posts at the district level will be filled through the examination. No, it does not say that. It says that, okay, you can take 50% from us, rest you water, or 50 or 30, whatever that might be. Rest you fill through promotion or through appointment of advocate, etc., etc. So this is also an appropriate system, which not only takes care of the issues of local relevance, but also the career progression opportunities of the advocates as well as the incumbent judges. De jure. Another is, last one, after that you can go. Malik Mazhar Sultan versus Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission, 2007. Let me see the year. Yes. In this case, the Supreme Court of India has laid down some directions for regular, proper, systematic recruitment process of judges to the subordinate judiciary. In this case, Supreme Court has laid down system of process. It said March 31 to October 31. In this cycle in general, appointments, entire system of recruitment should be completed. Recruitment, interview, appointment, etc. So March 31 to October 31 every year. This is for district judges. And similar timeline are also given for other judges. Simply, you understand this much. In this case, Malik Mazhar Sultan versus Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission 2007, the Supreme Court has provided direction for timely completion of recruitment appointment of judges in the subordinate judiciary. If the state governments and the high courts follow these directions in letter and spirit, then the vacancies of the judiciary can be addressed. But unfortunately, these are not being followed in letter and spirit. That is the reason we have multiple vacancies. Another issue is that judge population ratio. Judge population ratio is very poor in India. As per the government, 21 judges for 1 million people. So increasing subordinate judiciary, why there is delay, pendency, inefficiency, lack of judges, sanction strength, this much, appointed this much, there is a gap, but the sanction strength is also very less. As of today, according to the government, 1 million people in India have 21 judges, very low. If you see USA, 150. If you see China, 300. If you see UK, 51. The judge to population ratio in India is very poor. It requires substantial increase. How much should be there? Tentatively, we can have 50 judges per million. Because this is the one which is given by a law commission report in 1987, if I am not wrong. 86 or 87? Yes, 87. Law Commission of India. In 1987, remember 1987. Based on 1981 census. Now we are dealing with 2021. Then it recommended should be 50. We are not even half. Right? So to conclude our discussion, old judiciary service, yes, has some positives. But the problems of subordinate judiciary are huge, immense, which are structural, constitutional, which may not be completely addressed by old judiciary services. Although AIJS is an idea whose time has come, but which requires consensus among various stakeholders. But in the meanwhile, all those suggestions should be implemented so that the subordinate judiciary will become district judiciary. It can live up to the expectation of people. If the district judiciary functions properly, then it will reduce the pendency of cases at the High Court level and Supreme Court level. Why would people go? The reason this appeal system is functioning, there is huge pendency there because of the delay, corruption, inefficiency, etc., etc.
In India, we are following this integrative appeal process. So when in US, they are having separation when it comes to state level and there. So why can't we have something like that? District level, there are certain things only the highest level is in the state, so beyond which we cannot go for the application. It will reduce the pendency of the we have some local other we cannot go for the appeal.
One of the method of reducing the dependency on district judiciary is to promote ADR, alternate dispute resolution, mediation, all those things. But as far as the appeal system is concerned, we follow an integrated system judiciary, right? So that is what we follow, unlike in other states. We are a federal country. In federal country, although we don't have two separate institutions of constitution like in USA, that is this Indian judiciary is a unitary feature of this country. But it is necessary because we don't have that much qualitative people at the lower level. So there should be the system appointment because laws are equal for all. All the laws are implemented, applied by the judiciary. Whether you belong to Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Odisha, does not matter. System of laws are same, applicable to all the country, even to Jammu and Kashmir. So that is why we have integrated judiciary. Problem is not that. Having an integrated hierarchical system judiciary is not a problem. The problem is structural and the delay and various other things, infrastructure, etc., etc. Right? We should provide scope for appeal because error can be there. Human-made error can be there. So appeal system should be given. That is why even after the Supreme Court we have precedent. So should be given. So that's not a problem. But yes, to reduce the impact of cases, to reduce the workload of the judiciary, we can promote ADR system. And also we can increase the judges, etc., etc., etc. Anything you want to ask, you can ask. Sir, trial judiciary means court taking up criminal cases only or civil cases too. You see, when I use the trial court word in the context of Hijamali Pradesh court, it meant entire judiciary at the district level. But trial in general is criminal. Don't worry about that. Trial means only witnesses. No. Trial is of a case. A case is tried. A case is tried by the judge, by the court. A court tries the case. So, in general, case can be tried civil or criminal. Does not matter. Civil trial or criminal does not matter. I don't think there is a difference. There is a huge technicality involved in it. Don't worry. A case is tried, whether it is correct or not, who is accused, whether the person is guilty or not. In the context of criminal case, civil case, compensation should be given or not, defamation, etc. All those things you know. So, in trial, the court is in trial actually, because the court should provide a proper merit-based independent opinion, judgment. The case is tried. So, case can be civil or criminal. So, trial court in general means the district judiciary. Right? Anything else? Okay, thank you so much. See you later.